Sunwest Mortgage Company is a family-owned mortgage banker with operations both in the United States as well as the Caribbean, and they focus on mid to low income home loans. So with me is the CEO, Pavel Agarwal, to explain the company and kind of where you go from here. So welcome. And I was surprised to hear you've been around for decades. So give me a little history of Sunwest.
Well, sure, Jane, and thank you for having me. So Sunwest, my father started the firm in 1980, and we've basically been focused on just delivering quality service and connecting with every single family and caring about every single family. And in that long, steady, continuous process of how we serve our community, we've grown across the country. And now in that process, we have learned to connect both human to human and human to technology. So what we're launching now is something very exciting that we call empathetic technology. And I believe we're the first to launch empathetic technology, a practical application of it. It's been in the laboratory for years. So we have a first real working ability for a computer to interact with you in a way that you lead and you direct the system, especially on a very personal situation like a home mortgage where you're discussing your finances. We put you in control as opposed to the computer being in control. And
So explain how that works a little bit. So say I want to apply for a mortgage. How is the process different with you and this new technology than it would be in a traditional mortgage application?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the process is you have a conversation with it, and you go at your pace and you tell it what you need, and it responds. It understands your inflections and it responds accordingly. And it's very much like talking to a human loan officer, and you get that same level of service and care, but it's technology driven. And so you're not stuck on rigid forms, and that's particularly important in families that are underserved, in whether your family living with autism or your family with you have some disabilities, or veterans with first-time home buyers. There's a lot more to your story than just a couple of numbers. Right? Credit score, DTI, income, that is simple and easy for the very affluent borrowers, which we serve as well. But we deliver that same high-speed, high-touch service to the full spectrum.
Yeah. And then we've clearly seen interest rates on the rise, in particular over the past couple of weeks. How has that impacted your business?
Well, I think the market has changed significantly over the last 18 months, 18 months. And the rising interest rates, we went from 6 months ago, or even a few months ago, from 6, 7 offers, 10 offers on a property, which we solved that problem with what we have a true approval product. But we went from 6, 7 offers to now 1 or 2 offers, and it's actually, in a way, although premiums have gone up a little bit, it's actually in a way helping lower income and middle income families, people with FHA financing, because they're not competing with as many offers anymore.
That makes sense. And does the technology you're using help with fair lending?
Yes, that's a great question. So here's the thing about fair lending. I personally don't believe that you can achieve equality in lending unless you have equality in service. So everyone talks about fair lending, but can you serve that borrower who's had, for good reason, life events? But the key is that borrower loves his house. Okay, can you serve that borrower equally with the equal level of service and attention as the affluent borrower who, nothing wrong with that affluent borrower, right? He's got 20, 30% down and near perfect credit, but can you serve both of them with the same speed and care, right? And that's where our technology bridges the gap. And if you can serve them both equally and with the same level of attention, and you understand, if you as an organization understand that that person loves his house and he's not going to default, right, then that's the person you're supposed to do a loan to.
Okay.
So our one of our underlying philosophies and how we underwrite and how our decision process works is that, would you lend your money to this customer if it was your own money? Right. So everyone in the organization, the way we look at it is this is money in my pocket. Would I lend it to him or her if it was your own money and not, investors' money, or not, government insured money?
Oh, that's an interesting philosophy. And then you have a game on event. So explain what that is and how people can get involved.
Yes. So a week from tomorrow, we have a wonderful event. It's in Las Vegas, and you can register at swmc.com/gameon. And we have two of the greatest mentally disciplined people, great athletes, Terrell T.O. Owens and Yvonne Pudge Rodriguez. They're the best of the best champions, and they're going to train and teach you what it takes to have a champion mindset. And also they're going to be using our Morgan technology, which is all about empathetic, connecting, easy to use, bringing equality and fairness to lending process.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pavan, for joining us and telling us about SunWest.
Thank you, Jane. Cheers.